I still feel like I'm going to vomit.
You're fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Hey, guess what? We're live.
Hey!
We're live with the Patreon people. Hey, guys.
Hello.
We're going to start the pre-ramble just a tad bit early. Bubba had to go get a drink because, of course, he's already like 7 beers in. And he
It's
needs
Canadian.
his...
That's like 2 American beers.
Yep. So he needs some more. So since Bubba decided to get his 14th beer for the day, we decided we'd go ahead and start up just a little bit early. With Bubba's good old tap-out shirt. And, John, you're already getting requests.
Oh, Maxim DT. My Black Panther hot take is I haven't seen it yet. Probably going to see it Wednesday after work. It's been crazy. They've fired 2 people at work and another one's leaving. So I get to do all the extra work because I'm John. Of course. But yes, I will get it seen and I get you a hot take as soon as I can. In fact, actually, Gonzo, the media section for me is going to be mighty bleak.
What?
Well, we're not going to talk about The Last Jedi because Bubba hasn't seen it, and
Slacker.
I respect no spoilers. And the only movie I watched was Transformers the last night, and I already ranted about that for about 20 minutes on a solo recorded podcast. So I got nothing.
Let's see. What am I talking about? I've got Troll Hunters. Something else. I can't remember. I got it written down somewhere.
Something else.
It's fucking high quality shit right here.
Fuck yeah. Professional podcasting at its best.
Look, Bubba, you'll know after May 5th how it feels like to start losing your memory.
Oh yeah, May 5th, Bubba turns 40. So get rid.
I've had like 9 concussions. I can't remember shit.
I've had one, and it is the most disconcerting feeling, not remembering, or remembering bits. It's the worst.
Yeah, I had like slurred speech for like 2 years. It was really bad.
Oof, that is really bad.
Are you sure you weren't drunk the whole time?
Pretty sure, because I was like a teenager. So maybe actually.
That's right. Canada's not like Europe, Gonzo. They don't just hand you a beer as soon as you can reach the counter.
What?
It's true.
So, John, how was your week? Did you do anything fun?
Did I do anything fun? Yeah, actually, I had a good time overall. I got a game of Malifaux in on Tuesday down at Third Eye Games.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks in a row I've hit that up. Another one where the one 2 weeks ago, like he just started killing my models early. He had a model advantage, and I'm like, this game is probably going to end poorly, but I'm going to stick with it till the end, or at least till there's nothing to gain from it. And he went all in on winning the game, and as such, missed his chance, and I won. So, hey, thumbs up for staying in it to the end.
Sweet.
And then this week, the opponent's master was annoying as fuck, and he had lots of shenanigans, but his shenanigans required him to cluster all those people together, so I went and did stuff with my other models while he killed a couple, and then just started feeding them models and got an advantage in, and took that to a victory. I got Infinity in last week, as is standard right now. This week I did not, but I taught Paul how to play Infinity a little bit. He was a little salty during the game, but it's tough because it's a hell of a game to learn.
It is. It's a pretty tough game. It's got a lot of weird shit to it. Hey, Gongo.
Yeah, and it's tough because a lot of stuff he was trying wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't realize he was staying in it just enough that it was still just an even game till the end. He had last turn and he pulled it out for the win. So I mean, he felt like he didn't get a lot accomplished. Felt like he just got a lot of his models shot off the table, but he won. So I'm like, there's more to games than killing the enemy sometimes.
What?
Yeah, I know.
No way.
Yeah.
That's all there is to the game. Kill, kill, kill.
You could win on scenario too. It even works in War Machine.
What? There's a scenario element in War Machine?
Yes, Scott. Scenario element in War Machine.
I thought it was just roll dice, smash each other's face in, and then get drunk afterwards.
No, that's 40K.
Oh.
Yeah. getting them switched there. It's okay. It happens to every most of us.
All I know is there's drinking after every time I play, so that's all I have to worry about.
Fair enough. And then other than that, we did the Adventures of Sewer Bear last night and had a great time.
Ooh.
Obviously, I recorded it. You'll have that soon. Tomorrow, Tuesday, or something like that, as soon as I can get it edited
Whatever.
and sent to you. I do edit these. I remove silence. These it takes a good 2 or 3 minutes off the total runtime.
2 or 3 minutes off of what? 3 hours worth of time?
Something like that. Don't judge. It's a role-playing session. You know how that goes. And I know you know how that goes.
Hey, I cut mine to 2 hours.
You can't last that long.
I don't have to. The players I have to last 2 hours.
We have to play 3 hours guns or we won't get a goddamn thing done. Because Norin and Troy are going to go at it for at least 20 minutes. Then we got to rein them back in and get them working together to do something. We had some great moments in this one, including a superhuman dog jumping up and ripping the wing off a fighter jet.
Okay.
Yeah. Out of context, it sounds crazy as hell. In context, it's still crazy as hell. But it makes a little more sense then. So,
I just
you guys
killed.
see that soon. It was good.
Yeah, I just killed a random, I should say, pretty dominant NPC in my campaign, so I'm
3
scared.
sessions in or so? Jeez.
Yeah. It was the 3rd session in. They just got done doing things. I opened up the full story. I think Tim Bakey actually cried a little bit. I know that Jackie is going to be really, really pissed off at me in the next game session.
Orange contains one thing: oranges. We don't add water, sugar, preservatives, artificial
We hear that.
flavors, artificial colors.
Tropicana. Just one ingredient.
Just one ingredient, Bubba?
Yep.
Just one ingredient.
Yep.
So everybody's like, what?
Yeah.
That's,
Also, I guess I didn't push it far enough to turn my mic off.
no, we heard the whole thing.
Sweet.
Everybody's like, what? What?
Maybe it didn't click. I don't know. Fuck, I don't know.
Okay.
It's a brand new headset. I have no idea.
So, how was your week, Bubba?
Shitty as always. I work every day.
You worked every day.
Never own your own business, people. It sucks.
You know, I actually don't even know what you do besides play War Machine. That's all you do is play War Machine and drink.
Exactly. I don't even drink that much. And I don't play War Machine at all. I own a bread distribution company.
Bread is in moolah or bread is in dough?
Bread as in dough. that brings in moolah. Anyway, I'm very busy because I only started this business in January. So been a busy guy. Other than that, I played no casual games of War Machine. I've said this before on podcasts. I'm not really a nerd, so I didn't do any RPGs or anything. Although I did buy Gloomhaven because everyone says it's fucking amazing, and I really, really want to play it. It's just finding a couple people to play it with. I live kind of far away from everybody. Like Chris Orr is the closest person to me, and he lives 45 minutes away.
Oh, damn.
Everyone else is like an hour and a half at least. So that kind of sucks. So I didn't watch any movies either because I'm boring like that. That's actually not true. I watched Borg McEnroe. It's a movie about the tennis legends.
Oh wait,
Bjorn Borg,
wait.
John McEnroe.
You guys say that for the media section. Don't spoil everybody.
Oh, I thought that was now. I don't know. You guys were talking about movies. I wasn't paying any fucking attention. To what you're saying. This is the pre-gram. I don't fucking care. Okay, what am I supposed to talk about? Am I supposed to talk about the tournament I played in?
Yeah. Tell us what tournament you played in.
I played in a tournament. It was Champions format, but I didn't care because I just wanted to play War Machine. But I got up and I went to work and I worked all night and then I left work and I went to the tournament and I played in the tournament all day and then I left the tournament and went back to work.
No.
And then I got home and I had a nap. And then I got up and did shit and then I went to axe throwing and now I'm here.
Damn.
It's balls. That's my life every day, John. You don't understand.
Oh, no, I've run
Like
a business before. Not
probably
that
like-
bad, but...
Probably like 2-3 days a week. I just stay up for like 24 hours straight. It's terrible.
Yeah,
Anyway,
well, you can, so when you get older, you can take it
exactly. Until May, right?
May, when you turn 40.
When I turn 40.
We just
Actually,
started
I think it
like
might be 50. I think I'm turning 50. Anyway, the tournament was great. Champions format, which is it's fine, whatever. But I wasn't playing Kador, as everyone knows. I was playing Crix, which is I like to call good Kador. They actually have abilities that are fun.
You mean
Instead
just
of, like-
rolling dice and then saying you hit and then just doing damage isn't fun?
No, not really. It's boring as shit. And you only hit with your melee weapons. It's very important.
Yes.
But you have no way to buff that. You're just like, I'm at 7 or 8 or 9. Like, that's it. But I played Denny 2 because she's the best caster on the Crix ADR roster by far. And everyone said play Terminus, but I don't own him. So I played Agathea, who I also don't own. So when I got to the tournament, I bought a Crix battle box from the store. Put her together and played her because it was funny. She's shit, by the way. But it's Dark Host, so your caster doesn't have to do anything. Like,
Nope. Just sit there and just let it roll
Just
dice.
Like I literally didn't cast spells with her, and I did not feat with her once.
You just
I
let
played
her
her
dish out. Focus.
I played her twice. She like handed out focus to the one heavy. That was it. She stood behind a house. I played her in 2 games. Didn't feat. Didn't cast spells. It's great.
But I thought this was supposed to be something fun to play where you did stuff.
No, the other list was fun.
Oh, okay.
That was full of shenanigans. That was fucking. I was like, I could cast 18 Hellmouths a turn.
18, shit.
Not really. There's 3 models in the list that can cast Hellmouth, so it's pretty sweet. But you want me to just go over what happened?
Yeah, go.
Yeah,
ahead.
absolutely.
All right. Round 1, I played against Grumbly Mans, and he had Heretic, so I dropped Denny 2, which is in Black Industries, which is the Jack theme.
Mm-hmm.
The list is like a bunch of Slayers, Death Jack Nightmare, 3 Night Wretches. That's basically it. Some solos, Wither Shadow Combine. And he's like, okay, I threat this far, and I'm like, cool, I threat 5 inches farther than that. And I was like, a Skin and Moans can come kill a Slayer, and then I kill a Skin and Moans. Seems like a good trade. And he can't stop Hellmouth with his Arcane Vortex because I just target my own model.
Yep.
Like I target one of my bone chickens, and then pull in the Skin and Moans. So like, there's no way to stop it, unless he takes Ruin, like the spell or the Arcana. And then I'm like, cool, you stop one of them. I have so many ways to cast it.
Yes.
I don't even care. So it went really well, and I traded really well. And he has to spend a lot of fury casting magical weapons on his heavies to get through my feet, and instead of like using it to buy attacks. So he killed some Slayers, but it didn't really matter. I was also like really far across the board, and I have a spell that ignores a forest, so I won on scenario. Game 2, I played against Mercs, Magnus 2 and Ashlyn. And I thought he was going to drop Magnus 2, so I took the Banes. And he dropped Ashlyn, which was really bad because he had like a unit of cleansers.
Ooh.
Which is just like, oh, spray 10s, kill all my Banes. I'm like, well, this is bad. Then I'm like, wait a minute, I can make my Bane Knights armor 22 against guns.
That's no bueno.
Sprays? What sprays?
Exactly. So like base armor 16, base to base to armor 18, Wraith Engine aura to 20, and Derek Wraith's command is 9, and the sprays are only 8, 10 on the mini feat. So I just put Derek like out front and was like, Mortal Fear, if you want to spray any of my Bane Knights, get wrecked. And Derek Wraith is so hard to kill as it is. Like they need 9s to hit him. And so under Ashlyn's feet they'll hit.
Yeah.
And then it's like dice off 9. So he's pretty boss. So that's what happened, is he sprayed all my guys and he killed 1.
Ugh.
The one time he rolled boxcars for damage. And then all the rest lived and they were all on fire. But the fire only kills them on 7s as well, because they're all base to base. So they're armor 18. So it was good. A bunch lived, and then eventually I just pushed them out of scenario and won on scenario again. Round 3, I played against Trolls, which is good because Magic one's not in Champions format.
Oh, yep.
So I felt really good. So he played Berka, or sorry, no, he played Cole Grima,
Mm.
which is scary because her spray is so good.
Yeah, she's
Spray
really
10.
good.
But again, I can kind of negate that by being armor 22 against the spray with the same nonsense. Mostly armor 20 though, because it's harder to apply Derek there. And he's got like Mulg, Earthborn, Brawler, Mauler, bunch of heavies. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just kind of spread wide so that your cloud wall's not as good, and eventually I'll charge in and wreck all your heavies. And that's mostly what happened, except Mulg lived on 3, the Brawler lived on 5, and the Earthborn lived on 1.
Ooh.
And I was like, fuck. That's really bad. Except I learned that the Desecrator has Grievous Wounds.
Oh, there you go.
So Mulg couldn't heal. And his spirit was out. So I was like, yeah. So the Brawler went and killed like all my Bane Riders, which sucked. But eventually I just like, the next turn I just killed all his heavies. And so he just had Cole Grima. And I still had most of my shit. And Derek Wraith lived through essentially everything. Just standing in the middle of the board. He's just like, come get me. And he's like, no, I'm fucking immortal. And then after he lived that turn, I was like, okay, I feel really good now. So that was cool. And then in the finals, I played. I was supposed to play against Signar, and unfortunately, and this is what you wanted to talk about, Gonzo, a little bit controversial. And I didn't ask him if he had somewhere to go or anything, but he said he doesn't want to play because it would be pointless and I'd win anyway. Which is unfortunate for both sides. It's bad for him because he's got that kind of negative mindset, and maybe he's going about the game the wrong way. I don't know, and who knows? Like I said, I didn't ask him. Maybe he had somewhere to go out, but he said because he said it would be pointless to play. I kind of assumed it was just more of a directed at me thing.
Yeah,
and that sucks for me because I'm like, well, how am I like ruining your play experience by being here? Is it just me being here? Like you just don't want to play me because of reputation or something? Or you didn't want to play Crix? Or you didn't want to play me personally? So yeah, just unfortunate all around that I didn't get to, and then I didn't get to play a game. Like I got shorted a game because of it.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. So it was unfortunate. I think I felt more hurt than he was maybe mad. I don't know.
I mean, did you know the guy?
I'd never met him in my life.
That's weird.
No, never met him. And I was talking to you earlier. This isn't the first time this has happened. And the time it happened, the 2 times it's happened before too, were people that I didn't know either. So it was just like, oh, okay. I guess, I don't know. And like, there was an even number of people, so it's not like I just didn't get a game. It sucked. I would have rather just played.
Me too. Because when you told me about that, I was like, we need to really talk about that. We'll do it during the pre-ramble. Because I used to, when I would go to Metagames, Carl's store, it was me and, we brought our group, and I'd beat the guy I drove up with, and then Brent Simon got beat by another guy, and so between me and this one other guy, and I was like, let's play our game. And he's like, no, I'm not going to play you. You always win when you play against me. And I'm like, well, then let's just play a game, and we'll figure out what it is. And he's like, no, you just always win against me. And I'm like,
yeah,
I want to play a game. I didn't drive 4 hours to win on a technical.
Yeah, I drove 2 hours yesterday. So.
Yeah. So I was like,
I don't know. It was more like, I was like, am I, I kind of felt like the bad guy. I was like, am I ruining your time? Like playing War Machine? And at the same time, I was like, well, I'm like kind of sad because you feel this way and I don't get to play. And I was like, let's just play.
Yeah. Maybe I can teach you, if you don't want to play, maybe I can teach you what you can do to beat me.
Or he could actually win. Like,
yeah, try.
Maybe the person just like, little self-doubt. You never know, right?
Yeah.
Anyone can beat anyone in War Machine.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the kind of the glory of the game, right? You're like, oh man, I'm in trouble here, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, assassinate.
My dice crapped out on me for
Yeah,
like
sure.
2 turns.
I rolled 10 snake eyes in a row. Fuck.
I guess you're gonna stomp the crap out of me. Yeah, it's kind of it's a negative play experience that you have no control over, and that's just.
I think it's a negative play experience on both sides, though.
Yeah,
And that's the worst part. That's the worst part.
yeah.
And it's nothing you can talk about because it's not like you played a game and you can give him pointers afterwards. I mean, the post game breakdown is great. I've learned stuff from lots of people. I played Brian White at an event. I'm not in the same class as him. I knew that going into the game, but I'm not going to give it my goddamn all because I play this game.
Yeah.
And we had a great talk afterwards, and you learned stuff.
And the guy I played round 1, the Grimkin player, we had the same thing. He after the game, he's like, "Oh, can we just like talk about this for a bit?" And I'm like, "Absolutely."
Yeah. Especially, I mean, okay, you know, you're Bubba for the Motherland Dalton, so you know you're like this super awesome.
That is not my name. I'm gonna say that every time you say it. That's not.
and you know you are well known within the War Machine community. Do you think it may have just been an intimidation thing?
In this particular instance, I do think that like it was just a purely, like I said, I'd never met this guy before. I actually can't even remember his name, to be perfectly honest. Not to insult him or anything.
Yeah.
But, so I think it was just a reputation. Like he'd heard of me through whatever. You know,
well,
all my other 3 opponents were totally fine. Like, you know, and the first guy I didn't know. The other 2 I have met before, and I've played both of them before. And you know, they were like, "All right, let's go, let's play." So I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure it's not like you're being a dick when you're playing. I mean, you're not like, "Ah, motherfucker, I got you," or you know, just being douchey.
Oh god, I was focusing more trying to learn my list. I was on War Room half the game, being like, "What's this model do?"
This house, how much?
They're like, "Okay, what's the POW of this model?" I'm like, "I don't know. Let me look."
Flip it to me. Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of. And I can see that some people are like, "No, I'm not going to play you because you're XYZ," and it's kind of a bummer because I mean you're a pretty cool guy, and if someone were to ask, like you said, the guy that you don't shake your head, I will slap that. That you would at least talk about the game. Well, maybe if you see these 2 crick lists, you should have dropped this list instead. And the reason why,
I don't even know what he was playing. I know he's playing Signar.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like you were talking about the Grimkin player.
Oh yeah.
That maybe if you see my 2 lists, you shouldn't drop this list because I can, I've got threat for days on you, and
You did drop the wrong list. We talked about that. Yeah.
Was his list Heretic, Dark Menagerie?
Heretic. Yeah, but no Rattlers. And his other list was Old Witch, Dark Menagerie with like 2 Rattlers. And I was like, you see Dark Host, like that's why I played the Jack list.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had Rattlers, and I was like, well, fuck, if he plays that, I'm fucked.
Yeah, because it just wipes out your troops.
Yeah, and I was like, so I have to play the Jack list. So if you know that, you can pick a list based on that. And I still think the right choice was Old Witch. Just based on what was going on. But if it was Heretic, he could have had a better game plan, maybe too. I don't know.
Where did you ever get close enough that he could have stole spell from you, Hellmouth or whatever?
No.
So I play Heretic, but I play Heretic and Bump, and I really like Heretic and Bump, and it's always great when someone throws a spell out close enough to Heretic, and I go, I'm going to use that next turn, and they're like, what?
The problem was again is that he couldn't like my threats really far, so he couldn't. And again, Heretic isn't he can't stop Hellmouth on himself.
Correct.
So he has to stay really far back, or I'm gonna get him.
Yeah.
So
that kind of sucks. I mean, because I drive a minimum of an hour to go to a tournament because there's none here local at my place, and
yeah,
so
me too.
Especially if I drive like 4 hours or 6 hours. Especially if I drive 4 hours, I hate it when we get there and they're like, "Oh well, we're gonna go ahead and end it, and it's gonna be done, and you get first, second, and third." And I'm like, I played 3 games. Or when someone drops, I'm like, now if someone has to drop because they have somewhere to go, or they're just feeling really bad about themselves and they don't want to have a bad play experience with someone else and be all salty with them, okay. But I mean, if you're just getting your butt whooped, keep playing. I mean, I
Losses are
hate
gonna
going to
happen.
turn. Yeah, yeah, you're gonna lose. I mean, I suck at the game, so I'm used to losing. So I mean, just keep playing. That's the reason why we do it. I mean,
I'm learning a new faction. I'm losing all the time. It's. Ugh.
yeah, but you're playing easy faction. You just have to put that win button down and you just hit that and go, right?
Oh, right. Fact.
Well, pretty soon you could play the Kador Crix faction coming out, right?
Yeah.
Which
Totally.
so that's what we've kind of nicknamed locally. Whatchamacallit, Crucible is their Crix Kador faction.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, because they got the debuffing and then they got the heavy hitting. So if you want to play
Okay.
both,
Yeah.
you've got it. So
I'm interested in Crucible Guard anyway, so we'll see.
I was really, I'm sure, and like I said, it's just the start, and I'm sure that battle engine's going to change because that battle engine to me looked really sweet.
It looks dumb. Like dumb good.
Yeah, stupid good. And I love the Rocket Men. That plays into my play style of fast moving troops.
Yeah.
They seem really, really sweet to me.
Just play Old Witch into them.
Yeah.
Then they can't drop their grenades.
But see, I don't like Old Witch. See, that's my problem. I have a problem playing Old Witch in Grimkin. I can't do it.
She's really good. When I was playing Grimkin, I was like, yeah, Old Witch all day.
We're playing what's called our 5x5x5x5 tournament going on, our event, and you have to play 5 casters 5 different times against 5 different factions in 5 different scenarios. And yeah, and I've got Heretic, Dreamer, out of the way, and I'm working on Old Witch, King of Nothing, and Wanderer right now. And I just can't get myself to play Old Witch 2 for some reason. I think I missed the Arcana is what it is.
Maybe.
So
She's really good though.
She is. Yeah, I think it's just a playstyle thing for me.
Probably, yeah.
Because I really I didn't like. I was about to say that I didn't like Dreamer at first. She kind of got on my nerves, but I really, really like the Dreamer and Dark Menagerie list that I have built.
Oh, she's so good.
And the thing is she's such a challenging caster. Because you got to remember all of her spells and all of her abilities and going incorporeal, and then you got to remember her phantasms and when to put those out. And I'll tell you, those phantasms, especially the large base elephant, whatever it is, that thing's balls good for what it does. Because bulldoze on that thing is stupid fun. You're like, oh,
Yep.
all my casters are 1 inch away from all their jacks for power up next turn. Oh, guess what? Push. Now you're 2 inches away. Now you're 1 inch away from all your jacks so they can't power up. Or, whatever. And I really, really, really like her with Rattlers. Because her spell fixes their mat problem. And they just chew through everything. I mean,
man.
they just.
That's why I like Rattlers with Old Witch.
Yeah.
She just feats, and the Rattlers are just like nom 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 nom.
Oh yeah, they destroy shit like crazy. Because the biggest problem with the Rattlers are their mat.
Of course.
But with Old Witch, Dreamer, all that stuff, yeah. Yeah. So I really like Dreamer. I'll post my Dreamer list for you, Maximum DT, so you can see it. I really, really like her. Right now I'm playing Heretic and Child, and that's going to be taken for like the next 3 or 4 tournaments.
Child's so boring.
She is, but...
It's really good.
Yeah.
Really good, but...
Yeah.
Boring.
But she does a lot of good shit. People are like, oh, I'm just going to hit this. All right, well, next turn my Skin and Bones, has a thread of 14 inches?
Yep, pretty good.
Yeah, so it was like to...
But anyway, the tournament was good, and I took the winnings and bought a Slayer.
Bought a Slayer?
Because I heard Slayers are good. They only had one Slayer. So
I heard multiple Slayers are good.
I
Like a
think
spam of them.
I think I'm at 7 now. And I need 9 by next weekend, because next weekend's the OTC.
What? Next weekend's what?
OTC.
What's OTC?
You don't know what the OTC is?
What's the OTC? My viewers and listeners probably don't know what the OTC is.
Oh, you're an idiot. OTC is the Ontario Team Championship, which is like the ATC except bigger and better and more competitive.
You have any American teams coming out for that?
Like 12, 13.
I was wondering how many American teams y'all got coming out. Are they going to take second and third, so y'all have to like randomly draw for a team or whatever?
Correct. Americans aren't allowed to win. So it's 32 teams to 5. And that's the cap. The waiting list was 7 or 8 teams this year.
Nice.
So it's huge. It's the second biggest tournament other than WTC for team events that we're aware of anyway. It's really good. So yes, Americans are not allowed to win. We played Americans in the final last year, and we're like, we just have to win so that they don't win. And so that's always the goal. The goal is we don't care, like amongst us Canadians, we're like, we don't care who wins as long as it's not the Americans.
Not the Americans.
It'll be tough this year. There's a really good team coming up. Team Muse, John, Keith, Brent Simon, Jeremy Lee, and somebody else. Scott Taylor.
Probably.
It's a good team. So they'll be our toughest competition. We actually had our 5th player dropped like 2 weeks ago, maybe less.
That sucks.
Yeah, so we're like, okay, let's just find a 5th, whoever. And so we found it's hard to find a player because everyone's playing in the OTC, and teams are made in like November because that's when you have to sign up for it.
Oh yeah.
Because like the demand is so big, he gets everyone to sign up early. It's sold out in like 3 minutes this year.
Nice.
Damn.
Yeah, it's stupid. Anyway, so our player drops and we're like, shit. Okay, we just like found like kind of a we threw around a couple names. We're like, yeah, just like maybe this one random kind of local guy. And then I find out that the one American team is like mostly a WTC team.
Yep.
And I was like, we should probably get a really good 5th so that we don't or have a really good chance at winning. This is the 4th OTC and we've won the first 3. So we'd like to win again because we're asshats like that. And you get all your names on a trophy, so it's pretty cool. It's just a big line of our names.
Big line.
Anyway, so I was like asking around. I'm like, who can I ask? So we got Tom Guan.
He's not Canadian.
As our 5th. So Tom, he was coming anyway, just to watch, just to hang out. There's probably like a Magic event in Toronto or something that weekend, and he's gonna be our 5th. It's a pretty good team. Four WTC guys and then Tom Guan. So hopefully we'll be all right.
I think he has like quadruple citizenship everywhere, so he can do that.
He's just his passport is just Earth. It's 8:00, by the way. It's 8:00.
No, it's 7:00 Central.
7:00 Central.
7:00 Central. All right, guys, we're gonna shut everything down and we're gonna start back up in just a minute. Guys, go get a beer, go get a drink, go pee, and we'll start up and we will talk about the Cador CID. Be back in just a little bit, people.